Hello, peoples. This is Jinx speaking in with her lovely friend, Nosy Wren. Hey, Nosy, how are you?
Hello, hello. How are you
Hello.
people?
How is everybody out there? Susan, yours, Banana Man,
I was like,
Angie,
yeah,
Alice. Hi, guys. How is
dark
everybody today?
dark side, Alice. Hello, J Jax,
Robin, I'm trying to see everybody who's
Sherry,
here. Thanks for joining us.
Michelle, BB. Hi, BB. Jazz Naz. What up?
Happy 420. Hey, look, it's Ripper Jack. Wow.
Oh,
Hey,
look at us.
Ripper. I
We must be
almost feel like I should
special.
throw you in. We got to go to the bathroom. Will you be our intermission, Jack? Ripper Jack?
Right. Eric says, "Where's my drink order, Nosy?" What?
Oh, I'm having alcoholic punch today.
Ugh, not me. I'm just out here sweating my balls off in the state of Texas, you know.
Well, that's lovely.
It is. I burnt my ass on a nickel today.
That's how hot it was in her car, okay? She showed us how hot it
Yeah.
was in her car. It was
Yeah.
103 degrees in there, so that nickel was probably a lot hotter than that.
Yeah, it was.
Is it so burnt that you see the guy's
Yes.
face in your body?
There is a circle mark left. Yes, indeed.
Well, can you see the imprint of the guy or like the back
Oh,
of
no.
it?
If that was the case, I would definitely post that for sure.
So,
Oh,
anyways,
yep.
today we were going to talk about Teresa's written journal that was collected from her house on like the 3rd of November 2005.
Yes.
So I thought we could read it to the peoples, and then we can switch off on. There's probably about 7 entries over 7 months, and so we can just switch off entries. That works. Some of the words are going to be a little rough to read, but
Yeah.
because of the lighting, the shading when they took them, and then like a little couple of them are kind of cut off when they took copies too at the end. So I guess I will put this link so everybody can read along. Thanks to the Foul Play site, they have PDF this file and unredacted it, without them
Did
unredacted.
you send that to me? Where'd you send it at?
I gave it to you in Discord.
Okay.
It's
In
probably
message?
it's probably up a few because I think I gave you the StreamYard last, the YouTube video here, and then I think before that I gave you the journal. But it's also in chat if you can see it in the chat. I just put it in the chat.
Okay, hold on. All right.
And then I can throw it up here on the stream.
What the fuck?
And hopefully it's big enough for everybody to read.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, that's a little bit better quality for me. Okay,
So,
so you do one entry, I'll do the next.
all right, so we'll start with 4/27, 2005. This is the words of Teresa Halbach that year that she goes missing. So, I turned 25 last month. That's a quarter of a century, you know? 2 days after my birthday, I found a gray hair, but I didn't pluck it. I wanted to leave it so that I could find it again and show people, but I haven't checked it out in a while. I wonder if it's still there, or if there's more by now. Getting older doesn't bother me, at least not yet. I think if I'm still single and struggling at 30, it will get me down a bit, but I don't want to I don't want to worry about it. I just feel that I'm getting closer to that age that I've always felt. I once read that we are born with a mentality of a certain age, which explains why some men never outgrow a high school mentality, for example, or why some little kids have a maturity way beyond their age. I'm not sure where I fall in that, but I've always felt older than I actually was. I mean, I definitely had my immature, young, stupid moments, but that's unavoidable. Where does time go? Days seem to be a blink of an eye. You wake, you fall asleep. What happens in between should be more memorable than that. I guess that's what brought me to this. Literally, this journal. I haven't regularly written in a journal in many years. Who knows if I'll ever write in here again after tonight, but at least I got these thoughts down. Heck, this thing was only $7.99 at Walden Books. Gotta love those bargains. I'm freaking out lately. For the first time in my life, money is causing me real stress. I knew it was inevitable, but I hoped I could avoid that monster forever. You'd think living next door to my parents and getting a roommate would help me to be more financially stable. It does, I guess, but somehow I've managed to overstep it. Okay, that's enough financial talk. That will give that will get me nowhere. On to more spiritual things. In addition to this fine book, I purchased John Edwards' Crossing Over book. Loved it. Almost done with it. Sometimes I wished I could see dead people, maybe just once. I gave plasma yesterday, and the nice phlebotomist, Helen, struck up a conversation by asking what I was reading. John Edwards, have you ever heard of him? Oh, my cousin was a psychic. It freaked me out. And she goes on to tell me about how it ran in her family, but she never got it. She never wanted it. She wished me luck with my photography after she asked the polite, where do you work question. I said she should ask her cousin about it for me. It's funny where life takes us. If someone had told me a year ago, you'll be living next door to your parents in your old house with Scott Blodorn, and you'll love it. And writing in a journal in your parents' old bedroom in the room that Grandpa died. I'd have rolled my eyes and laughed a bit. But I'm glad I'm here, for sure. I get to burn my garbage and park in a garage. These are beautiful things. I quit smoking again. Damn that habit. I miss it. I'm so jealous of smokers right now. It's been a week. I'm stronger than these damn cancer sticks. Drinking some detox tea. I try to be healthy, but it's like I'm too lazy. I've not eaten, what is that? I've not eaten McDonald's since January. I haven't bought meat since February. I take vitamins, lots of fruits and veggies. I try to drink a lot of water. I join the gym. These are things that would lead one to believe that I what? I guess value my life. What is that word there? Do you see that?
Yeah, that's value.
No, what does it say at the top there? I something value my life. And I do. I value my high quality life of health and happiness.
I think it says, I guess I value my life, or that I don't know.
That one's a mystery a little bit. I give value to my life. That's probably what
Okay.
I give value to my life, and I do. I value a high quality life of health and happiness. I just wish something so unhealthy didn't make me feel so happy. I used to think I knew it all. Although, I must say, I at least knew that one day I would think I was pretty silly for, well, being so silly. I really I'm really quite stupid. Don't know much about much. Not an expert in anything, so I'll try to be an expert on me. Teresa Marie Halbach, born 3/22/80, to Richard and Carrie. Not meant to be famous, happy with simplicity, thrives with hugs. Always on the edge of sanity, too busy being busy to notice much. TV junkie, watches too much time on fictional lives, but that's nice to escape from my own, I guess. Hard worker sometimes, hard to tell if I work too much or too little. So that's my struggle. Always feel as I would do more. Stress sometimes, that's my middle name. I think what stresses me out the most is feeling like the stress might never end. Like it can only get worse. What an awful thought. Stresses me out. Just writing it down. Hmm. I feel better already. Seriously, this is good for me. I'm out of thoughts worth noting. Out out the moment. A good time to stop. And then she signs it T 1036. 515 if you want to read that one.
Are we gonna talk? Oh
Do you
wait,
want
I'm
do you want
echoing.
do you want to talk about that one for a minute? We
Am I
can do a
echoing
little.
for y'all?
I don't hear you. You must have YouTube open.
It's paused though. Okay. We can.
You
I
want?
I commented and like it's weird that she says things like I was never meant to be famous. Just so many weird little things in there.
I thought was interesting in this first one was how she mentions how she feels like she's finally reached the age that she was meant to be. Like, does that mean that she was never going to be older than 25?
Right.
Because really, she didn't make it over 25. Did she have some kind of subconscious thought about that?
I don't know. All right. Anybody else? Anybody have any questions or anything else? Oh,
Oh, I also noted she did not write for several years, she said. She hasn't written a journal in several years. And she's taking it up again. For some reason, a month after she turned 25, after she was a quarter century years old.
I agree with Alice. Like later on in the diary, I think you can kind of tell that too. I'll read this next part.
All right, let me scroll while you read. Let me find where we're at here.
Okay.
Can you read from here, or do you want me?
I'm reading from my screen.
All right, I'll just listen to you and scroll along as you read.
Okay. All right, 5:15:05. I feel content today more than I felt in a long time. I made a list and finished it, most of it. I avoided my phone mostly. I worked out a good amount. I had a list for tomorrow and I'm ready to conquer it. I miss my family. Okay, so they are right next door, but I saw them nearly every day last week. Now I haven't talked to the girls in 2 days and I miss them. Family is just so important to me. It's cliche. It's a cliche thing to say, but I really mean it. I really feel in my heart. Might graduate or what? I really feel it in my heart. Okay. Mike graduated from college this weekend. I came to the ceremony late, so I sat up in the balcony by myself when he walked across the stage. I actually felt myself choke up, and yes, a few tears came out. I always get emotional at times like that. I feel silly, but it feels good too. It's funny when I think about what makes me happy. Like today, I feel really happy. I really spent the entire day alone. Spoke to a few random people, uh,
Briefly.
briefly at the gym, but really, I was alone and talked. What does that say? I
I
was
think it
alone
says
there.
talk to
Talk.
Scott a bit.
Okay, yeah, talked to Scott a bit, but didn't really engage in the conversation or spend time with him. Just the crazy cat. It feels good to know that I am or that I can be so content on my own, but it worries me too. I find that if I spend a lot of time with one person, they tend to get on my nerves. I annoy myself when that happens. I mean, I like people. I love being around people and growing relationships with them, but I find that it has to be on my own terms. I don't like it when people want to get too close
Or,
and spend too much time with me or spend too much time with me. Then I back off. I don't know why that is. God dang, her handwriting's killing me. I'm okay. I'm something something if it's real. What does that say?
I'm not one if it's real a bad thing though. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's really a bad thing.
Okay, good job. I'm not sure if it's really a bad thing though. The one thing I wanted most in my heart or in my life that I have always known that I wanted is a family of my own. I have dreamed of the great wedding day. I dream of a great marriage. I
No,
don't just
she says, I've never dreamed of the great wedding day. She's dreamed of
Oh, you're
marriage.
right. Okay. Damn, I'm struggling.
That's okay.
Okay. It's a lot smaller on my phone too. Sucks. I don't just want to have kids. I want to be a great mother. I find it interesting that something is the one thing I am not
I find it interesting that I'm sure it says I find it interesting that this is the one thing I am not pursuing right
right
now.
now. All right. My actions are more toward a goal of independence. And I do treasure my independence, but it's the opposite of needing someone. I want to need someone too. I want to be needed. I just believe that it will take that one person to get me to that point. That person just hasn't come into my life yet. At least not that I can see. Wait, does that say silence?
It's a silence.
Silence, it's odd how can be so comforting. When it is silent, I feel closer to God. Something, it's just me and him.
Like
What
it's like it's just me and him.
like it's just me and him.
My soul.
Yeah, you might as well finish. I can't fucking see this.
You want me to just finish? I'll just read it.
Okay, my soul can see now clearly when all the earthly sounds are
I think that
something
says quiet.
quiet. It's those silent moments there. My some list of things to do gets away. The only thing I want to do is just be. Signed T at 10:52.
Yeah. So you want to discuss that one for a minute?
She's very like I don't want to say methodical, but it's like she's she has daydreams of what I remember having when I was like 13 and 14. If that makes any sense.
well, do those thoughts really go away? Especially like she's never had kids. She's still single. She's never been married. She's still having
True.
those dreams of meeting her soulmates and having children. And we'll talk about the soulmate later.
I'm not drunk, T1. Shut up. I'm reading on my phone, damn it.
I'm trying to get drunk.
Right. I know that
Gotta
comes
start
later
off
today.
420 with a drink, right?
Okay.
Great. Anything from you guys? Anything you found interesting in that last passage?
Sherry said she sounds happy and not at the same time, like she's trying to talk herself into it. I get that. I can hear that too.
Okay.
Hi Becca Chew.
Oh, Becca made it! Yay! She's gonna work on a new intro for me and you.
Yeah.
When we're on together, like I made that little thumbnail that says "with Nosy Ren."
Yeah, I can't wait to see the intro. I gave her some fun stuff.
All right. You ready for 52205?
I'm ready.
All right, I'll read this one. 52205. I didn't shower today and I didn't get up till 2 p.m. Scott and I planted the garden. Funny how it became a burden. I think that's what it says. On my list of things to do. Then we watched Star Wars all day. Watched the season finales of Extreme Makeover Home Edition, Desperate Housewives, and Grey's Anatomy. Life was good today. T. 12:45. Is that a.m.? And that's a.m. I think.
Yeah.
Well, you get the longer one.
That was a short one. You go ahead and read the next one.
Okay.
It's like, damn. I mean, this one's not that long either.
That one was just kind of interesting that she spent the day with Scott Blodorn. That was on 5/22/05. her new roommate. He had been living there a couple months by then.
All right.
All right, this one says 6505, 11:42 p.m. She drew a little arrow to a light bulb. That looks like a little heart-shaped light bulb, which is kind of funny because I'm a light bulb. Anyway, the lamp just went out. The damn cat tipped it over, broke the bulb. Just finished Wally Lamb's. I know this much is true. All 900 pages of it. Great book. Makes you think. Left my mind reeling. What is it that I like about my own handwriting? I find myself watching my handwrite instead of commanding it to. It's like a work of art, and I don't mean to define myself as an artist, just an observation. I find myself having one reoccurring thought lately. This world is messed up. It really is. We believe in things simply because we're told to. Sound familiar? We've all been taken for fools. We go to our Piggly Wiggly and purchase our Tide and Crest and chemical vegetables just because it's what we do. I find myself questioning everything. I'm so cynical. I don't believe anything I hear. I don't trust anyone really. I scoff at traditions. Weddings? Ugh, why? Traditions have lost their roots. We do things just because everyone else has done them that we then, I'm not sure what that word says. Then we claim to be so different when we're one step off. But I can't say this to most people because they don't understand. They don't want to change their view of life anyway. Not unless we're told to, and everyone else does the same. Far too complex to jot down on paper. Just a lonely girl rambling. 11:54. I think that's what that says.
Okay.
All right. Here's July 10. You want to read July 10?
Yes. Hold on one sec. I gotta respond to people in the comments,
do you wanna
Banana Man.
Do you want to discuss that one? Like she's
Oh,
kind of like us if you think about it. She's questioning everything. She doesn't believe anything she's told. She's just, she feels like she's just doing what.
Which is really interesting that she had that perspective, but yet her family doesn't have that same outlook in this case. It's like, where did she get that gene from? Where'd that come from?
Maybe her dad.
Maybe, and he's not around to even, whatever. But yeah, she's questioning everything. Hell, I mean, I don't know. All right, I'll go to the next one.
Any questions from them in the audience?
I didn't see any. Just Banana Man said that we should leave our diaries open so men can know basically what the fuck we want.
For the men to read.
Right.
Well, you'll notice she's not as honest in this journal as you would hope to be reading. Probably you're probably hoping she's writing like he was the best. I'm sorry, let's not go there. Stop it, Banana Man.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I was hoping to learn more about Ryan in these journals than what we do, but whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, July 10th, 2005. I feel extreme clarity right now. I cannot explain it, but I'll try. Now, I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can.
Cause Scott's home.
Oh, cause Scott's home. Now he's in the shower. I just feel calm, peaceful joy. I think I've come to a few realizations in the last few weeks, and it all hit me today. I was floating in my parents' pool this afternoon. No one was home, so it was great. I had a conversation with God. I guess I meditated a bit since I went out drinking for Jenny's bachelorette party last night. My brain is a little slower. It's too dark for that word on my phone. What is that word to the left?
I was in a mood.
Okay. I was in a mood to be quiet, to think. I asked God to send me my soulmate. Ooh, here's the good part. I asked God to send me my soulmate. I think I'm ready. but he'll know when I'm ready. I see things so clearly right now. I'm where I'm supposed to be, doing what I'm supposed to be doing. It feels good. I'm sitting in the backyard. Someone is lighting fireworks to the south, left over left over from the 4th. It's so beautiful here. I think about that every day. I'm so thankful for all I have. I've been having these thoughts about how I feel like I'm going to die young. Creepy. I dreamt of my own funeral just like the other night. I do know where these ideas are coming from. It's not morbid, it's not sad or creepy. It's peaceful, but I can't tell anyone or anyone.
Can't
Maybe
tell any way, any.
any way, any something. Maybe it's just my head romancing the idea of the impact of my life, what people would say about me after I die. It's not that I want to die. I love life. I've come to several beliefs. We are all souls. The important things in life are intangible. These are the things that the soul feels and learns. We are not put on earth to learn lessons to to mature our souls. I believe that we have many lives, that our soul comes back after our loved ones from this life have died and return to the other side. We have, should I say,
Guides.
guides
Yeah,
on the other side who act as our inner voice. We got back when it is, we go back when it is our time, when we've learned the lessons that this life was supposed to bring us. It's a circle. It's a circle. People that I refer to here as being surface, not very deep, not very wise, not mature, are young souls. They have not yet evolved, yet very far. I find it hard to relate to these people, not trying to sound egotistical. I know I have a lot to learn. I love life. It's our obligation to enjoy it. We are not put here to be miserable. We are to love, to live, to help each other, and to be happy and grateful. I've been blessed with so many amazing souls in my life. I'm so grateful for these beautiful people who've come into my life. I hope I can say this. I hope they can say the same about me. I'm afraid for anyone to ever read this. These are my thoughts. The reason I write them here is because I cannot share them, most of them at least.
So, do you think that, like she's talking about, she she talks about dying young. She talks about knowing where those thoughts come from.
Yes, and also though, I would like to point out the dates. Look at the difference. So what was the date of the very first one? So 1 month's time, she goes from, being annoyed with people, people are clingy, she loves being alone, and then like the very next month, now it's I'm ready, God'll know when I'm ready. Like it's a pretty big jump
Well, not
in
really,
between
because she was talking about how
3 months.
she really wants to be a mother, right? Like
Right.
that was in April, right, or whatever, right? April that she said that, or May or June, June. So she wants these things, but she's conflicted with herself because she also really likes her alone time.
Yeah. I agree with T1. He says, I get the impression Teresa will be a part of the supporter community for Stephen and Avery. Totally agree. Banana Man said he doesn't think it's freaky when you lose a parent at a young age.
No,
You think
I
that
don't
about
think so
yourself.
either. She
Um,
she was her dad was 30 years old when he died. It was in April of 1988, and Teresa was only 3 or 4 weeks into her 8th birthday, so she was about 8 years old when
yeah,
he died. So her having thoughts, and then the fact that she says she goes like, well, if things aren't different by the time I'm 30, she said that in one of her posts a little earlier. That age is significant to her, probably because of that death of her father.
yeah.
And then dying young is, when you have a parent that dies young, you do think about kind of that stuff.
They
Like,
had her really young. He was only 22 then when she was born. I didn't
who
know
knows?
that.
Yeah, they were pretty young when they got married. And so, yeah, and I think she feels she can't share these with other people because not everyone in her life has lost a parent so young that they can relate to what she's gone through. And then her mom marrying her, her uncle essentially, and having two other children with him. That had to be some, something different, right? That
Yeah.
none of her other friends have ever experienced or know about. So that kind of put her in like,
Susan made a great point too. She said, I think she just wants to maintain her independence in a relationship, not so much be alone. That could be, yeah, a lot of times people lose themselves in relationships.
I found that her spirituality is a lot different from what the Catholic religion would teach about
Yeah. Yeah.
coming back and having souls that guide you and people from the other side. And like a lot of that kind of reminds me of like Edgar Casey. Like I wonder if she was reading stuff about him back then too. Like she read that John Edwards and the Talking to Dead People book. So that's kind of interesting too, because when I think of Catholics, I think of more, like purgatory. You don't come back, you work off your
Yeah.
sins in purgatory.
Carlos, come here.
I'm sorry to hear about that, Eric. I was about 8 when my first grandparent died. They told me she just dropped dead, and I literally thought she just went into the hospital and fell over and died. I shouldn't laugh about that, but that's literally what I thought at 8 years old.
I
I
mean, when
don't
you're
know.
kids, you believe the words that you hear. You're not supposed to interpret them.
What she really did was like died of a stroke or something, right? So I didn't know what the difference was back then.
Sherry says, how do we know pages aren't missing?
Well, there is a when they pick it up on the 3rd before she's like, this is right when she's reported missing. It does say that he picks up this journal and when they copy it, they say there are 27 pages. I really couldn't tell you because the journal itself was actually returned back to the family. I think it was in June of 2006. So
You get the good juicy part next.
oh, okay. Yeah, like she's looking for her soulmate too, right? So let's move on. Let's move on to 9/5. Oh, were you talking about the way the dates were written? Because one date was written like this one was all written out like July 10th,
Carlos.
2005, and the other one was kind of like abbreviated 6, like this one is 9/5/05. It doesn't actually say the word September in it like the last one.
Yeah.
I found that kind of interesting. Let's read 9/5/05, Labor Day. What a lazy but full weekend. I'm wondering if I found my soulmate last night. Kelly and I went into Stockbridge after going to the fair and Cheers with Tim. Wes Bunnell was there. I don't know. Something just clicked inside of me. I've never felt so calm and so excited at the same time. That's how I still feel today. We shall see. I asked God to show me my soulmate when He knows I am ready. I trust in God. God has found a new place in my life, in my heart. He was never misplaced, only waiting to settle in to a good spot. What is that word? My Christianity has resurfaced and I feel anew. It is a good feeling. I feel beauty in my life. It is all around me in a physical sense as I sit in my backyard on this beautiful day. Windy, but I also feel beauty in my heart and in the heart of those I love. I am so blessed and amazed by the things that have happened in my life. It overwhelms me to think about it. God has certainly taken care of me, and I know He will continue to do so. I love this feeling of peace. I know that it will be replaced by the feeling of working hard and focusing on things that need to be done tomorrow. But I am grateful for how I feel right now. I ask nothing more. I've only written 2 pages today so far, but I feel like I've explored my entire soul in these words, yet get so involved in the piddly, unimportant things that cloud our lives, that we do not stop and appreciate the broad, simple, beautiful things that are worth our attention. I am being called to do great things. My life has meaning. I have a place in this world at every moment. I must fulfill it. I feel that writing much more would dampen the focus of my words today. Her life goals: to be a good daughter, to be a good spouse, to be a good sister, to be a good friend, to be a good boss, to be a good employee, to be a good community member, to be a good citizen, to be a good person, to love all others, to help all I can, not to be selfish, self absorbed, to always be grateful, to be a good mother, to be good. So, what do you think about that? She thought she found her soulmate right there in
So
9/5 Labor Day weekend.
people already asked who Wes was. You can tell them. You deal with her.
So, Wes Bunnell ends up being a man that let's read the last one and then I'll go a little more into Wes Bunnell. I have a
Okay.
few things I can pull up on him to kind of pull that out because that was a big thing. Like Wes Bunnell, this is 2 months before they find her car on the Avery salvage yard. She's talking about meeting this soulmate in Stockbridge on Labor Day weekend. So who is this guy? Did they look into him? What do we know about him? So we'll look at that in a minute. Do you want to just move on to read the next one and then we can discuss Wes Bunnell?
Yeah.
I find her list of things that she wants to do just to be. She's just to me. She's just a girl that wants to do good things, for those that she loves and those that she cares for, and herself and the world. So she seems pretty like an average 25-year-old girl to me. Yes, I relate to her. I relate to her, Becca. Just like Becca says, she relates to her. This is where she relates to Teresa. And I do too. It makes her relatable. That's a good way to put it.
All right. And it kind of opens up everyone to get to know a little bit about her. This one is October 20th, so this is 11 days before Teresa goes missing.
Mm-hmm.
She says, second place volleyball, season B over. It's been a great ride. I really love all those girls. It's been a great ride. It's an extraordinary opportunity to be able to be seen as a role model in these young lives. It's been such a pleasure. So now I'm at that turnaround point. Time to reevaluate what my goals are and what to do with my time. And then she says, donate plasma 2 times a week, go to Ghost Town 3 times a week, take vitamins, hormone balance, drink tea, eat healthy, quit smoking, start yoga, make schedules and a routine, read books, and watch movies.
And that's where we come to the end of Teresa's words before she goes missing. People have asked what Ghost Town is 3 times a week. That is actually the name of her gym that she mentioned she joined earlier in the journal.
Yeah.
She joined a gym. Ghost Town is the name of the gym. What a creative name for a gym,
Yeah.
One of the things, hormone balance. I wonder if she was imbalanced and that's why she was having a lot of
emotions.
That she was having 3 pap smears in how many years? I don't know. Maybe that was part of it.
Could be.
So I thought that was kind of interesting. She sounds like a normal person trying to do good with her life. But let's talk about Wes Bunnell a little bit. I can pull up this screen. I pulled a couple of things. This is how I asked for the pages. There was a copy of it. They give it an evidence. They make copies of it.
Robin says maybe she couldn't have kids, and we don't really know if that's a fact. And then I think you also asked earlier what was the deal with Bradley. He was just a dude who had a wife, and Teresa took pictures, but she was seeing Bradley sometimes. They had a divorce. The wife wanted all the negatives, and they went on about their way.
So let's see. Can you guys
I don't find him very relevant, so I don't really go into tons of detail. It's just he's not really. I don't think he's a factor in the matter, but I could be wrong.
Brad would be another video, I guess. We could talk about him in another video.
Yeah, he's got a YouTube channel. All you gotta do is type him in and his channel pops right up. He works for some radio station in Milwaukee.
And he did something about, like, he's got a bunch of old video
I don't know if that's
games,
you.
like actual games where they're like standing arcade games that you can play and stuff. I think he might rebuild them or has some type of hobby. Maybe it's a hobby in it. I don't know.
Ronald D. Cass said, interesting, she donated blood. Could her blood DNA have been from that?
You know, I know that they had this journal early on. I think there was something that they asked. What did they ask? I think they asked, was it Ryan about the plasma that she was donating, or I thought there was something in one of the records asking about her donating plasma and blood at one point in time.
Sherry says nobody doing any victimology at all in this case is a disgrace, and I am currently
That is my consensus too. Is
what the hell was that noise?
me? Did you hear something?
I thought like you were being eaten by
I'm so sorry. I don't know.
Some fucking Ghostbusters.
I was playing with a piece of paper. I am so.
I was like, holy shit. Okay. I was agreeing with Sherry that I agree about the victimology. I'm actually in class right now and I'm learning a lot, and it's so damn important to know about the victim. And I think Zellner said something about that, like one of the most important things in something like this is to know your victim first.
Well, right. Victimology is usually something that they do very early on.
Sorry, y'all heard that noise and was like, oh my god.
I didn't hear it, you guys. I just was playing with I was folding and moving on a piece of paper, and it's probably right by my mic. And I'm like, sorry. Boom. Okay.
It literally sounded like you started eating the actual computer. Oh my god. Okay. Anyway, Wes.
Yes, let's move on to Wes Bunnell. So he stopped laughing. Okay, so Wes Bunnell was her soulmate, correct? Well, according to her. Now, what I found interesting is when you see the records for Teresa Halbach, she never ever has any communication by phone with this Wes Bunnell.
Right.
So, what I did find was that Kelly Pitson. This is Kelly Pitson's record that was released by, I think, Emerging Truth. I think got these records for Scott and for Kelly Pitson. And what I noticed on it is she goes over to her home to help Scott and Ryan, and her other friend Lisa Fox comes to help make calls to people that Teresa knew to see if anybody had seen or heard from her. And what I found interesting was about at 5:30 that afternoon, she does call Wes Bunnell's phone number. So she calls Wes to inquire about Teresa, but on Teresa's records themselves, there's no communication with Wes other than this one mention of him possibly being her soulmate in September. So what do you think about that? You think that's weird? Do you think there might have been other communication, such as like text?
Okay, so for me personally, I think that she just saw this dreamy looking dude. I don't know, maybe, I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't think there was any other communication because I think we would see it in the phone records. But I mean, you can see someone, especially in her situation, she was single. She had obviously broken free of Ryan and got out of that toxic situation. And she was battling her thoughts, ready or not. And I mean, maybe you have one conversation and you click with someone. I mean, it happens all the time.
It does. It does. They're still talking about the mic. And
I know, they're still fucking talking
I'm
about
so
that.
sorry. I'm not going to play with any more paper ever again.
Ever again.
No more notes, okay? No more notes.
Everyone thought you were being eaten by your computer or you were eating it.
It was quite delicious.
Hey, and now I gotta know what the monster's name from Ghostbusters is that comes out of the refrigerator. Anybody, come on, somebody knows the answer to
Primer?
that. No. It's like, come on, you should know, kid. From Ghostbusters 2 with Sigourney Weaver. Or is that Ghostbusters 1? Ghostbusters 1 with Honey, I Shrunk the Kid's dad. Not Slimer. Slimer's the green guy. Slimer's a good guy. The ugly
I have
gargoyle
no
thing that
idea.
jumps out of the refrigerator. Slimer is a good guy in the cartoons, first of all. Gore? Was that its name?
I have
Gore.
no
No,
idea.
wasn't Gore the yours?
Zool.
Zool, yes,
Zool,
thank
that's
you.
it. Zool.
That is who I thought was eating you.
That's the one that takes over Sigourney
Yeah.
Weaver.
Yes,
Right,
getting
right,
way
right.
off topic, but thank you for coming through on that, Jazz Naz, because I wasn't going to be able to stop until I figured it out.
Well, that's good. We gotta
Anyways.
So I looked up Wes Bunnell in the WCCA site for the records for Wisconsin, and I found that he actually was being petitioned by somebody for family support. So he had a child out of wedlock, it looks like, in 2003.
Oh, for real?
They were looking for child support. Then in 2004, there was a criminal case in 2004 for disorderly conduct. He pled guilty to, was charged with domestic abuse and disorderly conduct. I think he only pled guilty to disorderly conduct. I don't know, recall all of that. And then I was looking at his Facebook page, and I found that he studied criminal justice at the Community College of the Air Force. So he was in the United States Air Force.
Damn, interesting. I didn't even know this.
And then another thing you guys might find interesting is Amanda Bunnell. If you have ever done an FOIA for the Calumet County Sheriff's Department, Amanda Bunnell is the one who usually writes back and says, give us 10 days, we'll let you know. And then she's the one you're really communicating with, even when she sends you a denial or a grant. It's something from Uyghur. She sends you that stuff. And what's interesting is Amanda Bunnell, and this is Wes Bunnell's been verified, and it shows some of his contacts, and Amanda Bunnell is one of them. That's her maiden name. I blocked off there and where she lives, and I just whatever. But Amanda Bunnell that's her brother-in-law. Wes Bunnell is her brother-in-law. She is married to Wes Bunnell's brother. So this is Amanda Bunnell working for the Sheriff's Department, is related to the man by marriage, by her husband, to the man that was listed as her possible soulmate. I just thought that was kind of interesting. Amanda Bunnell actually has another connection with the Lisa Fox that was on, her name was Lisa McGowan back then. I guess I'm going to tell you, Amanda is Amanda Fox. I guess I don't know why I deleted her maiden name, since it's kind of relevant anyway. And she is married, the one that was on the property at Teresa's house on the 3rd, Lisa, is her sister-in-law by marriage. That's her brother's wife. So all these little connections to Amanda Bunnell. And I thought it was interesting that she was called by Kelly Pitson the day that she went over there to help find Teresa. I would love to see text messages, something we have never seen from Teresa's records. They either did not get them, they did not subpoena them, or they have just never been released anywhere. We know that they sometimes disappear or misplace evidence, so that's a questionable thing. Also, her computer files, there's something that's a little different for Teresa's computer records, is they don't list any Google searches, any Yahoo communications, whether it be in a chat room or through DM, through Yahoo Messenger. None of that. None of that. Just some Yahoo emails and her maps. That's pretty much all we got from her computer. I think it would be interesting for someone to see if they can get the hard drive copy. They did the same thing that they did to the DASI CDs, which was make a hard copy of the hard drive on several discs. It would be interesting to actually get copies of all of those discs just to see what was not in the valet final report, because they don't really show us that stuff. But that's about all I have on West Bunnell. Any other things you found interesting in this? Let's remove this from here and just put us up.
I
Any
mean,
comments?
hell, we could all be wrong. Shit, maybe they sent Wes Bunnell to go meet Teresa, and he did it.
Well, we don't know. Did they ever talk to him? I don't. We are
I
still
don't know.
we are still missing some DCI records, from what I understand, that were never released. So there might be something in one of those records relating to Wes Bunnell, but I haven't seen anything as of yet.
I don't think so.
It'd be interesting to know what he knows. If there was something more going on there, how it was happening. Was it through text, emails? Well, we know it's probably not emails because we do have those. But any instant messengers, any chat rooms?
So how did Teresa know? How did she come to be in the same place as him?
Well, what she said was she was out with Tim and Kelly at some
Right.
Fairs and Chairs place for Labor Day weekend, and afterwards she went over to Stockbridge. There was a bar there. I can't remember the name of the bar off the top of my head, but I think the owner of that bar was actually, he called into Calumet County Dispatch and had mentioned that she was there over the weekend with Kelly Pitson. I think that is actually the guy. Like, there is actually this person in MAM 2 that talks about, he says, it sucks Teresa's dead, but if these guys are actually innocent, why not look at it? He's like the only one I've seen on that side of the camp actually say something like that. Maybe he didn't know Teresa as well as some of her friends, but, he's kind of open-minded about, well, maybe, just maybe, these guys are innocent. Let's look at that. I mean, we can't change the outcome for Teresa. If she's dead, right, she's gone. There's nothing we can do. But if these guys are actually wrongfully convicted, we can fix that mistake, right? So why not look at it? So
Right.
Exactly, why not look at it? And I think he's the owner of that bar in Stockbridge. When Ryan goes and meets, I think it was Deirdre and whoever over there in Stockbridge. I think that's where he goes. He goes over by where that bar is and stuff to meet detectives in 2017 when he had that other interview. So I find
Just a big coincidence
to be a place where they hung out a lot, maybe because the owner was kind of their age, or it seemed like he was kind of young. So maybe they felt more comfortable hanging in a young bar rather than maybe some of the other bars that seemed to have more older people hanging out at,
Yeah.
Maybe it was more age appropriate. So what are your thoughts? You guys have any thoughts out there in chat land?
Let's see. It's odd that we have no one's text messages, DCI records. We do have our suspect in some cases. The page count doesn't match with what was released.
What the page count does, it's 27 pages. They had 28 pages that was including the report that they wrote about it. So page 413 of the Calumet County Sheriff's Department report, plus the 27 pages of her diary, which made 28 pages. And that's what when they released it in 27 pages. They sent it to me in actual paper. I had to take pictures of the paper because I don't have a printer or scanner or anything. So I took pictures of these papers that they sent me, which were the copies, and then I just added them. And then thank you to Zoe and Foul Play. By the way, if you haven't gone to Foul Play site, They have a forum there now, so you can actually have conversations over there. I'm going to put a link to that here in the community. They have a great library. They've added the PDF file for this journal to their library. I will also add that again. It's also in the description. So, I knew that was going to
Booty
be.
call.
No, that was my auntie. Anyway.
Just kidding.
So you guys can go and read the journal, pass it around if you want, talk about it wherever you need to go. Please check out Foul Play site, the forums. They've already started commenting and making posts over there. Go ahead and it's less restricting than Reddit is, so it's a good place if you want to get some information out there without having to be redact and you know.
You got some more comments.
Let's see what we got here.
BB, Eric, Sherry, and T1.
It states that it is 28 pages. It's not. I'll show you. I will bring that up again. Give me a second to pull that up again. I have a little thing for it. I did. So right here. Let me show this again. Let me add this to the screen. I don't know what I did. Let me try this again. Share screen.
Whew.
So if you see, it says Calumet County Sheriff's Department narrative reports, page 413.
He said not this. He said not this one.
This is Discovery. This is the Discovery. So I'm confused. What are you talking about then?
He said I meant the other reports. Jinx.
Let's see what the other reports say. The other reports do not say. This one says 210-06, evidence or tag received 7824, which contained Teresa's Halbach personal journal. The journal was turned over to me by evidence custodian Jeremy Hawkins. I did copy all of the pages of the journal, which will be included in this report. These pages will be copied and sent to the district attorney's office for his review. The personal journal was then resealed, labeled, and turned back over to the evidence custodian for safekeeping. Weaker. And this is the actual record from the personal journal.
He said other DCI reports, not on this subject.
Well, I will have to see that DCI report because
T1 says TH voicemail was accessed as early as November 2nd at 8 a.m. How is that not relevant?
Well, it was actually long before 8 a.m. because the first voicemail that day was at like 7:12 on the 2nd.
And Sherry says, I want to know who hung out with or who else went to the gym when she did. Did she have problems there? Not to my knowledge.
It sounds like she just had talked to a few random people when she was there. She probably didn't really know people there. That particular one that she probably went to was in, I'm going to say in Appleton. I think I looked it up. T1, if you find that DCI record, you show it to me.
You mean Banana Man?
Or Banana Man.
Yeah.
Sorry, Banana Man. Yes, Banana Man.
He said head wall bang. Bam. Bam, bam, bam.
There are, if there is one in the DCI record, I did not note it when I read some of them. I have not read all of them, I do not think. I'm kind of slacking on that. I read them sometimes as I go looking for stuff. A good person to ask is probably like J-Jack, because he probably read all of them already. Or yours, or AC Rookie, because they are the ones who got them, and I'm pretty sure they've read all of them too. So I'm gonna have to ask one of those peoples. So what else should we talk about? Are we done for the day? Should we be going? It's been a whole hour and 1 minute. It is now 4:20 somewhere else.
That's
I'm going to do a teaser in the middle of the week for some Hillgas Lautenschlauter stuff, probably on Wednesday. It'll probably be just a small live talking a little bit about Mark Hillgas and Peg Lautenschlauter, and then in the comments there, so you guys think about it till then, on what
Should-
questions you might want to ask for a live. Let's see, what is Saturday, next Saturday? For Saturday the 11th, maybe we shouldn't do it that day. That's 20 years since 9/11. That's crazy stuff. So I'm thinking 9/11, 420. We can do one on Ryan. Start that conversation at least. Hopefully, I'm going to get Sapper Cop and Linda Kay listening. Maybe Allie, and maybe we can get yours to join us if it's not too late at 420. It's kind of late for him.
Should we send Ryan the link to that video?
Maybe we should. Maybe he'll come. Maybe I can get him on.
I will send him the link.
Let me ask you some questions. If you're so, you want to clear your name, you come on and you tell us.
He does not
what you know, what you don't know.
balls for that.
No, he probably doesn't have balls for that. How about Fauna?
I can re-message her. I can message Blowdorn too, and his wife.
Yours is asleep. Most likely he is asleep because I haven't seen him say anything in a while. He wasn't here for a little while. Maybe I'll have to do it earlier than, maybe do it 3:20, 4:20 Eastern time because of yours, and then it's only 10 something for him. We'll see. Hit subscribe and hit the bell, and then you'll know for sure when I go live again. You see, that works.
Try Bobby. No.
I'm not a big Bobby. Bobby is, I don't see a motive for him. I see more of a motive and more circumstantial evidence pointing to Ryan. So that's how we're going to do Saturday on the 11th.
I know, it makes it so hard because he doesn't have a motive.
We will discuss him sort of as if he was suspected as the killer and how that could have happened and what kind of leads me to think leads me to think that he is the most number one suspect on my list above Bobby. I think Bobby's a great Denny, but I lean more towards Ryan. So we'll discuss that. Everybody wants to hear about Ryan. So, if you have any comments about or questions that you want to hear me answer or try to get down to the bottom of anything, just leave it in the comments in one of these videos about Ryan. I'll do one on Wednesday where you can leave some comments and bring your questions so that I can write them down so that on Saturday next week we can go over those questions. And we'll try to get down to the bottom of where he was, what he did, what could be, what assumptions or theories that might follow him. Yep. So other than that, I think we're good for the night. I want to thank everybody for coming. I appreciate you all coming and listening to me bullshit about the journal and West Bunnell and all those other things. Anything else you want to add, Nosy?
No, thanks for showing up. Thanks for hanging with us. I'm ready for the Ryan stuff too, so.
Yeah, I've been being bugged by Sapercom. We had a nice little discussion the other day with Sapercom, so I'm going to bring him on. I'm going to make him come on, so we'll get him on. I'll pull him by his collar or something.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think with him too, like, when certain people lean towards one way or another, to have both perspectives, during a live like this where you can bounce back and forth, and he's a really good one too.
Well, I kind of am set in my ways, so it's good to have questions from other people that make me think. So I really appreciate when you guys give me those questions or comments or even facts that I am not aware of, that I can then change my opinion based on facts and not just theories, because sometimes you have to kind of speculate with this case because there's not a lot of records for some things. So thanks again for coming, and I will see you guys soon.
Yes, and just to reiterate, Jinxie did not eat the computer
I did not eat the computer.
or get eaten by Zool.
I will be here next week, and I won't sell. I got to get one of those things like Jax has a voice changing mic, so I can be Zool next time.
All right, ciao.
Have a good holiday weekend, everybody. Happy Labor Day, and we'll see you later. Bye, guys.
Later.
Until next time.